Each year, millions of tourists descend onto Egypt to be struck with awe and observe one of the 7 wonders of the world, the ancient pyramids of Giza. In the whole of Egypt, there are 138 pyramids, yet in the desert state of Merowe, located in the Republic of Sudan, there are 255 alone. Which begs the question, why are there so many pyramids in Sudan? The rise of the Sudanese pyramids begins with the fall of the Egyptian Middle Kingdom. During the latter stages of the Egyptian Middle Kingdom, in 1730 BC, North Egypt had just been invaded and captured by the Hyksos, a nomadic kingdom whose origins are based around the West Asian region, credited for introducing horse-drawn carriages into Egypt. To the south of Egypt existed a region known as Kush. The Egyptians had already begun expanding into this territory, however they had to halt progress due to the Hyksos invasion. Although not a dominant power in the region, the Kushites did have some military might. The Egyptians would often refer to the land of their southern neighbours as Taseti, which means the land of the bow, since the Kushites were such skilled archers. The Egyptians used this trait to their advantage and hired the Kushites as mercenaries. Eventually, in 1550 BC, the Egyptians, with the help of the Kushites, were able to drive the Hyksos out of Egypt. With the Hyksos now gone from Egypt, the Egyptians entered the period now known as the New Kingdom. The Egyptians continued their southern expansion and absorbed Kush into part of their empire. Kush was now an Egyptian colony. Kush remained an Egyptian colony until the Egyptians were in their final stages of decline. It was under the rule of the first king of Kush when the kingdom began to flourish. King Al-Ra unified the kingdom and made the city of Napata as the capital of the kingdom of Kush. Napata, located on the west bank of the Nile, allowed easy trade between the kingdom of Kush, Egypt, and other distant kingdoms, resulting in the kingdom of Kush building an economy based on exporting gold, ivory, and other exotic animal products. As a result of this thriving economy, the kingdom of Kush became powerful, and with Egypt in decline, the Kushites were able to take what they wanted from Egypt whenever they wanted. It wasn't until Al-Ra's successor, King KASHTA, that the kingdom of Kush would start to become Egyptianized. King KASHTA held a great admiration for everything Egypt, and although the Kushites' culture had always been influenced by the Egyptians, King KASHTA would take it even further by importing vast amounts of Egyptian artifacts and commissioning Egyptian-styled monuments. Furthermore, King KASHTA was the first Kushite king to rule over Egypt as pharaoh and began the 25th dynasty of Egypt. This dynasty was short-lived, only lasting roughly 150 years, as their reign ended when the Assyrians, known for their fearsome war capabilities and use of iron weapons, invaded and conquered Egypt. After conquering Egypt, the Assyrians went on to destroy the city of Napata, decimating towns, temples, pyramids, and other monuments. This led to the kingdom of Kush to relocate further south to the city of Merowe and made Merowe the new capital of Kush. The kingdom of Kush continued to flourish with its new capital of Merowe. Due to Merowe being on the bank of the Nile, the land in the surrounding area was filled with lavish, fertile fields and prosperous forests. Furthermore, it was advantageous for the kingdom of Kush to be based in Merowe, since the ancient African Iron Age was in full swing and Kush had everything required to become the center of the iron trade. Trade links, iron ore, and wood. The iron trade compounded with the gold trade, and Kush's exports of agriculture made the Kushites become even more wealthy now that they were based in Merowe. With their growing economic power, the kings of Kush continued to emulate Egyptian culture and overcompensated with the destruction of Napata by building more monuments, pyramids, and temples. The exploitation of the natural resources helped continue and maintain the kingdom of Kush's wealth. However, this led to the overuse of natural resources, which would eventually bring the destruction of Merowe and the Kingdom of Kush. The iron industry would prove to be a double-edged sword for the Kushites, as the production of iron required massive amounts of wood to produce charcoal and fuel the furnaces. This led to the deforestation of the once plentiful forests of Meroe. Likewise, the fields which the livestock used would eventually become overgrazed, and the crops would destroy the soil. With the depletion of Meroe's natural resources, Meroe would slowly die out until 350 BC, when the final people left the city. As for the pyramids of Meroe, they remained in good condition for thousands of years, until 1836, when Italian combat medic turned treasure hunter Giuseppe Fellini destroyed the tops of over 40 pyramids in search of treasure. Currently, the pyramids of Meroe are a protected UNESCO World Heritage Site, and although some of the pyramids have been restored, many of them have been left ruined. Thanks for watching. This is a new channel, so I would love to read your opinions and feedback on this video. Leave a comment for any future video ideas you have. And finally, keep learning.